So I saw this study that almost half of men aged 18 to 25 have never approached a woman in person. And let me tell you, that was literally the most disheartening statistic as someone who's in that age group and who just deleted all her dating apps because she wants to meet someone in real life. I really do not want to hear any more about a male loneliness epidemic when half of men my age aren't even attempting to talk to a woman in real life.
Yeah, when I look out over your sea of vacant faces, I feel like to puke.
Hey woman, I know you're only capable of using about 15% of your brain at any given time, but come on. When you talk about this stuff, you're referring to two different groups of men, both of which are avoiding you. You're not bothered that the average man isn't approaching you. In fact, you're quite relieved that he's not. Deep down, you think that he is creepy, angry, and a violent psychopath that's allowed to wreak havoc on society thanks to the patriarchy keeping them out of prison or something. You're more upset that Ray Rockefeller isn't approaching you out in the wild because of all the success you had talking with him on the dating apps. Those apps turn social contact into a digitized conversation devoid of any emotion or real meaning, and it's reduced your already lacking conversational abilities down to next to nothing. So it's lose-lose for any man who dares wants to talk to you.
I completely understand the fear of rejection and everything. It's hard out here to just go up and talk to someone you don't even know, but I feel like our dependence on online stuff, dating apps, Instagram, whatever, has kind of made it so that no one talks to anyone anymore in real life. Because why risk rejection in person when the most you could do is I don't know, slide into their Instagram DMs, and then if they say no, that's it. You don't have to see them again, you don't have to face that rejection in real life. Also, that people are gonna say it's 2023, why didn't the woman just approach a man? That is completely fine. I have done that before. I have been the one in my past 2 relationships to pursue, I guess, the man first. But sometimes a girl just wants to be asked out, if you're looking cute, you want someone to be hey, I think you're really pretty, can I get your number or something?
Do you please maybe help?
No way! This is your dishwashing liquid, you soak in it!
So in other words, you don't want to put in any real effort when it comes to pair bonding. Sorry woman, you made this mess, now you have to deal with it. It is not a fear of rejection that keeps men from approaching. It's that modern women have weaponized that rejection to the point where they get a disgusting sense of satisfaction through completely destroying this man whose only crime was working up the courage to come talk to you. False accusations, social media shaming, doxing, these are all legitimate concerns that are constantly being disregarded by modern women. It's not fear, it's caution, and it stems from a survival instinct. And I don't know about you, sister, but self-respecting men don't want to be caught in the blast radius of a tactical nuclear strike just because you feel pretty and want to feel good about yourself. A self-respecting man's job, privacy, and dignity will always take priority over your fifis.
So, I don't know. I guess this is a message for guys. If you're watching this, don't feel super afraid to ask a woman out or say something. It doesn't have to be anything big. You just say, I think you're really pretty. Can I have your number? If she says no, respectfully move on. The fear of rejection that people have is really deterring them from ever saying anything to anybody now, especially because it's so easy to be oh, I could just look them up on Instagram later and say something or like their story, which doesn't mean anything. So yeah, I guess this is your sign to talk to somebody today. If you think they're cute, just say something.
Nope. That would be a waste of time.
Sorry lady, it's just not worth it anymore. The well has long since been poisoned. And you're not even willing to find out why men are so apprehensive when it comes to this stuff. You just looked at some random study you found on the internet and based your entire argument off of that. You'd have better luck if you just went out there and asked these guys to their faces why they don't want to approach anymore. It's no secret. We've been shouting it at you for years, but it's just easier for you to blame men and hide behind your false sense of superiority. You can't just lay a massive minefield over the dating battlefield and then act shocked when the men refuse to cross the damn thing. It doesn't work that way. If you want a man, you're going to have to put in the work and accept that men are not going to just walk up to you and lie to your face about looking pretty.
This is just so shocking. I mean, I must just be so monumentally naive.
You are.
That's funny because it's so true.
Probably won't believe this. I mean, I'm still shocked, but there's still men out there who don't open doors for girls when getting into a restaurant, on a date or something. And there's also men who don't open your car doors. So you get next to an Uber, you open the door, you want to get in, and then he makes you scoot over so he can literally do zero effort. I mean, am I too old school, or you guys just have zero manners?
Hey, Mildred! Mildred, wait up!
Oh, Mildred, you musty sack of human disappointment. The reason why men don't open doors for women anymore isn't out of laziness. In fact, it's out of respect. You told us repeatedly that you make your own money, you pay your own rent, and live your own life. So what kind of men would we be if we didn't let you open your own doors? You see, Mildred, a man who opens a door for you is mansplaining the concept of doors to you. And not only is that offensive, it also sets back women's rights by at least 36 centuries. And what kind of gentlemen would we be if we let that happen? So by opening your own doors, you are proving to the world that you're a strong and independent boss bae yas queen. Now I get it, Mildred. You need men to open doors for you because of your hourly injections of Botox directly into your eyeballs has all but destroyed your ability to operate doors on your own. But you need not fret, Mildred. Thanks to advances in science and technology, you might actually be able to have the capacity to learn that function in the next 17 years. Medical science is truly a wondrous thing. Wouldn't you agree, Mildred?
Indeed!
I want a boyfriend. I'm a girlfriend girl. I don't want to just hook up with boys or a situationship with some guy in my class. No, I want a boyfriend. That's what I ask. Because I'm not a casual lover. I'm a lover girl. I love with all of me. I want a boyfriend, not a more than friends. I want him, but I want all of him or nothing at all. And if he just wants something else, if he just wants a casual love, he can have that. Go find that. Just find it with someone who wants that too. Go have a casual love with anyone but me.
Perchance some poetry before a fortnight.
And here we have a woman with cringe words spoken trying to get sympathy by acting as if her life is broken. But there is one thing I wish to say, so I wish for you to listen, if you may, to stop with this emotional rubbish. It is making me sick. Your poetry sucks worse than a disease-carrying tick. If you want a boyfriend, they're easy to find. Just find a halfway decent chap whose imperfections you don't mind. Sitting in your closet and recording cringe is no way to live a life, especially when there are perfectly good men who don't mind making you their wife. But you act shocked when the men you crave only desire you for your decrepit stink cave. If you lower your standards and keep yourself humble, you'll find your needless discontent crumble. You'd rather cry that your personal life is a mess, and if that's your choice, we couldn't care less. So be gone with you, woman, and don't make me shout, and don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Amen.
3 pickup lines with a 100% success rate guaranteed. Number 1, the thief. Thief!
What?
Thief! He stole from me!
What did I steal?
He stole my heart.
Gosh.
Time to go to prison, bad boy.
Wait, what?
Number 2, the googly eyes. Hey, cutie, do you think my eyes are pretty?
Yeah, they're nice and blue.
What are you doing?
What? I'm looking at your eyes.
My eyes are down here.
Oh, God.
Number 3, the fall. Oh no!
Oh, are you okay?
I'm so sorry. I was just falling for you.
Oh, that's not right. No.
Yeah, this is obviously a skit, but I have to admit, it's kind of a messed up double standard that if a modern woman did this to a dude, it might actually have a minimum amount of success, while the dude would totally get prison time if the roles were reversed. But luckily enough for me, I don't have this problem. I don't steal hearts. There's none to be found with these broads. And I know better than to look anywhere but the ground when a modern woman walks by, and if a chick like this runs into me, I'm going to find the nearest clinic because I know I'm either going to need some antifungal meds or some antibiotics. Yes, that is how low society has fallen.
I quit. I quit.
Let me give you an example of what I mean when I talk about the mental load. Today, our son had a doctor's appointment at 2, which meant I then had to debate what time I wanted to pick him up by, because his nap time starts at 1. So I didn't want to have to wake him up in the middle of nap time to get out. So I got him at 1. Now the appointment time is right in between lunch and his scheduled snack time at school. So I had to say, okay, let's get him a snack to take so that when he gets in the car, he doesn't get hangry while he's at his appointment. I just bought a whole watermelon. The kid could eat it all day. I'll pack some watermelon to go. don't forget the fork. I had to make sure I had the evaluation papers that we filled out as well as the teacher. Then I had to decide whether or not I needed to bring Motrin with me, because on Saturday he fell off his bike and really scuffed himself up. So much so that he needed some Motrin this morning before he went to school. And by the time I picked him up, it would be just about 6 hours. So okay, let's grab the Motrin.
What?
Oh, middle-aged Mabel, you're really grasping at straws now. To think that the energy it takes to plan a trip to your brat's doctor is somehow on par with the strategy to defeat the British at the Battle of Stirling Bridge is not only insulting, it's downright silly. Every single thing that you mentioned takes zero energy and processing time for any reasonably functioning adult, and everything that you mentioned is inconsequential in the long run. If you forget the ibuprofen, that boy's just gonna have to deal with being a little bit sore for a couple hours. If you forget his snack, then you'll just have to deal with him being a little hangry and he'll get over it. If you forget the paperwork, well then I guess the mental load was just too much for you to bear, middle-aged Mabel. And it's kind of insulting that you don't think men aren't planning and strategizing all day every day. It's kind of what we do. We don't just get to coast through life with empty heads. You laid claim to that job centuries ago and we want nothing to do with it.
So now we've made sure that we've got the Motrin, we've got watermelon for a snack, we've got a fork for him to eat it with, we've got the eval papers. Oh, but wait, you know what we're gonna need? We're gonna need a paper towel because watermelon's juicy and my kid hates nothing more than to be sticky. Do I need a wet paper towel and a dry paper towel, or could I get away with just doing a dry paper towel and then using my water from my water bottle to wet down the paper towel if I need to? And then all before this even went down, I had to make sure I emailed his teacher. One, to let her know that like the whole road rash on his face, he's doing okay, he's got some medicine, but he also has an appointment that I have to pick him up at 1 o'clock for. So for this one little task, these were all the things that I had to take into consideration.
And
that doesn't sound like much work there, middle-aged Mabel. In fact, it sounds like you're just trying to find an excuse to endlessly complain. Face it, Mabel, your life is not that bad. You do not have it hard at all. You just can't stand it. So you need to complain about your good life by making up something that doesn't make any sense. If thinking really does exhaust you to the point where paper towels and a 3-sentence email to your son's teacher is overwhelming you, then that's not society's problem. You need to face the facts, middle-aged Mabel. You are not overwhelmed with your tasks. You want the world to think that you are because you desperately need people to validate you for being an ungrateful wife and an unpleasant person. You're incapable of thinking otherwise because you hate your life and you don't respect the man who provides for you. And instead of working on that, you're just gonna get meaner and meaner as you bitterly refuse to accept that your life didn't turn out the way you demanded.
This is what we mean when we talk about the mental load. Now, this was my task specifically to handle from conception to planning to execution. But here's everything that went into just simply taking my son to his doctor's appointment today. So consider that the next time that you just want to sit here and say that doing the cleaning and the laundry and the cooking isn't that hard, because that's not what we're talking about.
You know, you're really just full of shit. There's the John. Okay?
Hey, Mabel, if something like planning a trip to your kid's doctor is so mentally draining, then why not let your husband do the planning for you? He's a man. Planning and thinking is what he does. We make plans on top of plans for things that haven't even freaking happened yet. Go up to any man and ask them what their plans are for either Armageddon, Red Dawn, zombie apocalypse, extraterrestrial invasions, vampire takeovers, intergalactic civil war, or a road trip to Vegas, and they will not only have a relatively detailed plan, they will also have backup plans in case something goes wrong. Just ask them the plan difference in the event that the attack is from brain zombies instead of flash zombies, and you'll get a good idea of what I'm talking about. And those types of plans only take us a few minutes to conceptualize at the absolute most. So imagine how fast and efficient we can be when it comes to the practical stuff, but no. You'd rather just insult us and say that your life is harder than ours because you're forced to think. And to that I say good luck to you. I don't have any use for a broad who's going to freak out in the event that the holy water doesn't affect the vampires. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. And I can't help but be curious, what's your Geddon plan? Be it Zombageddon, Armageddon, Extraterrestrial Geddon? Let me know what your plan is. And thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.